Cheers, everybody. Welcome back to another one. And we're off to a place where I haven't been for years, since I lived down south. We're off to Surrey. We're off to Red Hill. I've been to Red Hill years ago, quite often. Yeah, Red Hill. That's a blast from the past for me. We're off to By the Horns Brewing Company. Um, Never heard of them, I'll be honest. And we've got a session IPA, and this was picked up. I think Mrs. B picked this up from Sainsbury's, and we've got a can of Hopadelic clocking at 4.3% ABV. Bags of information, which I'll relay to you. Yeah, they're based at Sawbrook Road, Salford, Surrey, and it's near Red Hill. I'm sure that's near Red Hill. It's got Red Hill postcode. All beer, no bull. We have progressively traditional attitude towards brewing our beers, combining flavour, tradition, skill, experience in a forward-thinking manner. This beer offers a psychedelic journey through new North American psychedelic journeys. Has it got mushrooms in? Bit of LSD dropped in it. Oh, I've been stupid, haven't I? Yeah. New World North American hops brewed with a blend of Citra, Brew 1, Idaho 7, Cascade, Summit, Columbus. It's got quite a bit in. But quantities, when it comes to them listing their hops, what it is in quantities, I couldn't tell you. Waves of tropical fruit, we've got piney notes, I reckon, and stuff like that. 4.3. I'm not a fan of session IPAs. I'll be honest with you. To be honest, it's a style of beer which I'm sick to death of, to be honest. I really am sick to death of doing them. I just think, I'd rather have a traditional ale than a session IPA from a craft brewery. I'm sorry By the Horns Brewing Company, but Mrs. B picked up the wrong style. But, bless her, she does her best. So let's crack it open. Let's get in a glass. Yeah, I'll never get excited with session IPAs no more. I was years ago when they first came out, but they've been done to death. And, sometimes with session IPAs, it's just brewing for the sake of brewing. It's just brewing to a budget and selling it, I'm getting at. It's all brewed to a budget at the end of the day, innit? So, I suppose I had their place, but I'd rather have a traditional beer than that ABV. I just do. I think there's more taste in them. So let's have a look. Yeah, look at that. Very thin looking for me. Very pale. Head's just going. Let's get a whiff. Yeah, it smells like a session IPA does to me. It's slightly watery in aroma, like a diluted aroma, if not a slightly diluted fruit cordial. It's got that thing about it. It's I'm not having a stab at the brewery. I'm having a stab at the style of beer here. Okay, before people start going, you having a go about? No, I'm not. I'm really not. Breweries have to do what they do to make money, but this is a style I'm not really fond of. I'm gonna go in. Cheers. You get the bitterness on the front end straight away. The mouthfeel is thin. It's smooth, but slightly thin. There is a pine note there. Usually with beers, I get to pick up the pine note on the back end, but I'm getting this on the front end. I'm going again. I'm looking for different flavors. I'm trying to pick out different flavors to make this this beer more interesting, but I can't really. There's a slight, I would say, slight tropical feel to it, and a hint of grapefruit, but because it's thin to a degree, it's quite hard to pick out. What do I think of it? Well, I can see a brewery like this. If I was an owner of a brewery like this, I'll be doing exactly the same. I'll be wanting to get my beers out there, and the only way you can really get your beers out there, what will make it work in a supermarket, and you're a small brewery, you have to do a style like this, I suppose, because we're talking about quantity over quality here. You know, to get their beers nationwide in a supermarket, you couldn't afford to brew a stronger beer, I don't think, because the margins are so tight, I suppose. Getting to this, I mean, the beer is. I'll be honest, I'm not excited about it. Okay, and people might think there was an agenda before I even cracked the can open. I suppose there was in a way because of the style. But it's everything. You know, you look at the amount of hops, different hops in this. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different hops in this beer. If I had a blindfold test and I tasted that beer, I didn't know how many hops were in, I wouldn't say there's hardly any in. But that's just me. So, you know, margins are tight. There's a budget going on here. I would say they're trying their best to get their beers out there. You know, I'm interested in trying more beers from this brewery. I think I will. I think I might have a look at the website later and see what they do. But getting to this beer in particular, it's just missing its mark, and a lot of session IPAs do that. They miss their mark with me. It's the only real style which really doesn't interest me as such. It's just isn't. It's just everything's just done to budget, and everything's you know, like I say, I get more enjoyment. I've got a load of traditional stuff over there. I picked up over Cumbria last week, and I know for a fact I'll enjoy them more than this. But getting back to the brewery, I think I will have a look and get some more out of them. It's definitely not their finest hour, and I think they can do. I think they'll do better beers than this. One more for the road after my little tirade. Well, it's not a little tirade. It's just what I think. It's not doing it, boys and girls. Hopadelic, buy it and support the brewery by all means. You know, Mrs. B has, but don't expect much from the beer. Thank you very much for watching this one. Look after yourselves, and bib bib from me. Cheers.